Hello, I'm Bailey Conway, and this is my analysis of performance study. So, what we are going to take a look at is a close eye on Crystal Palace. So, what is the clear underlying problem identified? So, Crystal Palace are conceding too many goals near the end of football matches at the start of the Premier League season in the 2022 to 2023. Although the goals conceded at the end of football matches are a problem, Palace in general are also conceding goals in games throughout the whole 90 minutes. As you can see, there's a little phone on the right, and there's two articles on it about Palace. One's calling Palace conceding late goals a habit and trying to find a solution on why they're conceding them goals. And the other is Vieira, the manager of Crystal Palace, calling it a mindset problem within the squad, which is very debatable and very interesting to look into, as it may be tactics or it may be a mindset thing. So, as we are focusing on Palace and analysing their performance defensively, we need to still understand that performance analyst is moving with the times. So, it's heavily involved with critical analysis of football matches. Match analysis now encompasses more than just tracking the number of tackles made, passes intercepted, or yards run, as former Manchester United manager Ralf Rangnick tells us. 4 of the Crystal Palace football matches from the 2022 to 2023 Premier League season have been studied and analysed thoroughly. Analysis has taken place and managed through using a video analysis software called Naxport. Ultimately, the aim of this analysis study is to possibly understand the reason to why Crystal Palace are conceding in every game they are playing in. Along with this, there is also the question of why are they also conceding goals in the final 10 minutes of football matches when they're still in the game. So now moving on to the methodology, and there is key performance indicators on the screen. These are screenshots of my key performance indicators, and all have been referenced with a few having pictures on to help have a more concise and specific description. Herald 2021 says that KPIs are frequently used by the top level soccer teams to monitor and improve tactical performance. KPIs are quantitative metrics used to assess whether a team or an athlete has achieved performance goals. And KPIs and video analysis has been used in soccer to inform practice. These KPIs has helped me achieve validity and objectivity in this study. So KPIs have been used on the Naxport button template as well, as you can see there. So the button template is essentially your interface for video analysis. You hit these buttons to register an action on a video while you are watching it or analysing it, in this case with Crystal Palace. Short video clips are then produced and based on these actions, and information is also added to a database for future research, Richie 2021 tells us. So, as you can see by the screenshot there of the Naxport button template of mine, it is a coding of Crystal Palace. And on the first line it has the attacking team and the way they move into Crystal Palace's defensive third or the attacker's attacking third, final third. Are they playing a medium pass, dribbling? And the next is which area have they got into Palace's defensive third? Is it wide, left or central? And then it's the pressure on the man when the ball has travelled inside the defensive third, sorry. Is it high pressure, low pressure, or medium pressure? And then it goes the shape of the defence. So are we narrow, are we compact, or are we wide? And under that is the line speed of the defence and the position of defence, so if we're deep or high. And then the next, just before the outcomes, is zonal or man marking the opposition when they attack. So after that is the outcome, so has there been a goal after that, or has Palace regained possession through that attack, or have they cleared it away? So next up is Kappa testing. Before I could code and analyse my 4 Crystal Palace games, I had to do a Kappa test where this tested the reliability of the KPIs and overall notational system. I coded one of the same games twice to eventually get my Kappa score. As you can see, it's 0.92. Therefore, on the interpretation of Kappa scale, is almost perfect agreement, and it is significantly above the 0.6 cut-off mark, which is moderate agreement on this. So now all the coding has took place in all 4 Crystal Palace matches on the left there. I have found some interesting findings. The analysis chart shows the outcomes linked with defending of man marking and zonal marking, something I didn't think I'd pick up before. Throughout the 4 matches, Palace decided to go more zonal mark than man-to-man marking, which inevitably can be a point to shout about why they have possibly been conceding goals. When Palace's defensive structure went man for man, it shows that they conceded less goals, as well as less shots on target and less shots off of target. This could be because the defenders are getting tight, so the attackers haven't got much movement, they're a strong structure, and they're not marking space, so the attackers have space to go into. So this chart has taken into account the whole of the 4 games, and I believe that this is a strong possibility to why they're shipping in goals in the wrong end of the net, of the sticks. So, although I've just looked at that, due to being a main problem with conceding late goals in all 4 matches in the last 10 minutes, I wanted to try and find that problem also, and the reasoning behind that as well. So this shows the games in chart 1, chart 2, chart 3 and chart 4. In chart 1, Arsenal at home, 85th minute conceded. In chart 2, Manchester City away, 81st minute conceded. In chart 3, Brentford at home, 87th minute conceded. And chart 4, Chelsea at home, 90th minute conceded. So, moving on, there are 4 charts here, and I have focused just on the goals conceded in each game to make it a bit more simple and to try and strip back the bone and know the first layer of why goals are getting shipped in and the movement towards that. So, as you can see on the 3 top charts, there is a similarity between having a wide defensive shape and also zonal marking. The bottom chart doesn't really correlate with the top 3, which is not a bad thing, because it happens in football. But this leads me to again seeing the problem of marking zonal spaces and not directly man-to-man marking when the ball comes into the defensive third. Also, with the defensive shape being wide, it probably links to the possibility of being counterattacked on when Palace have gone forward and they're out of position. Also, with them being at home, 3 of the 4 games they're at home, this could be a big link to that. Chasing the game, the fans want them to score, but they're leaving themselves open at the back, hence the wide defensive shape. So, going back to the first chart we found through man marking and zonal marking, wanted to try and make an intervention of the base of man-to-man marking, and do that type of session and base it around that, and kind of scrapping the whole zonal marking, as I think that's inevitably the problem. So step 1 of the session, you can see 2 opposition players paired up together with 1 ball in each pair. One will dribble around the pitch trying to get away from the defender, whilst the defender needs to try and stay as close as possible to the man on the ball, the attacker. Not quite tackling, but needs to be really close, trying to show a match preparation and scenario. So moving on into the advanced side of the session, small-sided games are commonly utilised as a way to raise technical proficiency, tactical awareness and physical preparedness all at once, and Go 2012 tells us. So players have a man each, and if they lose their man in the game and they score, their partner on the opposition team will have to do some sort of forfeit. And this lines in with Ducanis in 2019, when he looks into football players' responsibility and promotes practices that require responsibility on and off the field. Taking accountability is massive in the football, and something that happens in the top of the game, and what athletes do and why their mindset's up there. So all in all, it's their responsibility to not let the teammates down. Something I believe the Palace players need, and they need to take more pride in themselves and their own goal, defending it. And I think that they need to train how to play, through working hard and man marking, and getting much better at that, and taking that into games. So the next intervention is around the 4 charts you see. This session drill is based off of conceding late goals. First of all, there will be shape work as a team, as you can see at the top, learning how and when to press as a unit and not getting left countered on. The green players will just play between themselves, and the Palace players will move repetitively within their unit, getting used to the match day scenario. But after the first session, players will have 3 10-minute games of small-sided to then go straight back into the shape work. This will create a similar environment and condition on players in the final moments of games when they're tired, and they will have to keep switched on, just like the scenario in a game. So I believe that will be very beneficial to them moving forward, and not just as a whole unit, but individually as well. These are the references I use throughout. Thank you for listening, guys.